In this video, we'll look at calculating one variable statistics using the TI83 graphing calculator. There is another video with the exact same examples, and I've done those examples by hand, so I recommend watching that video first. Nonetheless, this video will assume you already know how to do this by hand. We'll try it on the graphing calculator. So the first thing we want to do in the graphing calculator, obviously, is turn it on, with the on button. Oh, and there's someone's done a whole bunch of stuff before. I better clear that. So I'm going to go second plus to get to memory, and then 7 to choose reset, 1 to choose all RAM, and 2 to reset. That clears everything that the person before you did. Again, that's second plus 7, 1, 2 to clear all the memory. And now it'll say RAM cleared or memory cleared. Good to start. What do I want to do first? Hit the stat button. It's under the del button, 2 to the right of the green button. And when I hit that, I see edit. That's the option I want. I can just hit enter, and I get a bunch of lists. List 1, list 2, list 3. I'm just going to use list 1 this whole time. And what I'm going to do is in list 1, I'm going to type in the numbers I have for example A. We'll just stick with example A for now. So 3, enter. 6, enter. 7, enter. 8, enter. 13, enter. 14, enter. And 19, enter. Done. All my data is in the graphing calculator, and this is going to be really useful when the data list gets long, 40 numbers, 50 numbers, 100 numbers, because the graphing calculator will calculate everything for us by hand in a few easy steps. Let's get out of this data entry screen by going second mode. See that quit on top of mode? Second mode will quit us out of here. And then we're going to hit stat again, but choose a different option. From this stat menu, we're going to hit the right arrow to take us over to calc, and we're going to calculate one variable stats. So I hit enter, and it says let's do one variable statistics, mean, median, some other things. And where's the list I want to do? L1. So on top of, see on the graphing calculator here, it says L1 on top of 1. So you hit second 1, and that'll say one variable stats on L1. Yeah. Hit enter. Don't hit anything else, because if you don't touch another key for a moment, you can scroll up and down through this list. And this list tells us a whole bunch of stuff. I'll go through it with you. This X with a line on top, that's the mean. So right now I know the mean is 10. What else does it tell me? These next few numbers aren't important, but near the bottom of this first part of the list is this little sigma shape, this little funny Greek symbol for us, and it tells us the standard deviation. That is going to mean for us basically how spread out the data is. The higher the number, the more spread out the information, the more diverse, the more distance between the numbers. And so here we have a spread of, let's round to 3 decimal places, so I'll put approximate dot, a spread of 5.127. What else is interesting in here? I'm scrolling down with my arrow keys. Tells us there are 7 things if we need to know that. Tells us the minimum thing is 3. We can jot that down if we want. And then if you scroll down some more, it'll tell you the median. That's med. So when you look for median, look for med. And now we know the median, which is 8. But also important when we do one var stats is this Q1 and Q3. That tells us where the 1/4 boundaries, just like median divides the data in half. It means half of the data is less than or equal to 8, and the other half is greater than or equal to 8. This tells you where 1/4 of the data boundary is. So 1/4 of the data is less than or equal to 6, and then another 1/4 of the data is between 6 and 8, and another 1/4 of the data. So Q1 and Q3 are 1/4 dividers, and median is the sort of middle, or Q2 if you want, divider. So Q1, it's worth recording. First 1/4 boundary is 6. Q3 is 14. Also your maximum values there if you need to know that. And now it's a piece of cake. Now that you know how to do it, it should be easy for the other sets of data. We'll try example 2 here. You can clear the memory again if you want. Second plus 712. There's a faster way. You just go stat, and then see where it says clear list, so I pick 4. And then I want to clear list 1, so second 1 again. That gets me L1, so clear list 1, done. And when I go back, how did I get back there? Stat, and then enter for edit. The list is clear. And I can go ahead and enter my second list. 3, 7, 2, 7, 18, and 7. Done. Quit out of there, second mode to quit. And I'm back to my home screen. I want to do stat and right arrow to get to calc and pick one var stats by hitting enter. I have one var stats. I want to hit second the yellow button, and a 1 to get L1. And right away, look how quick that was. I get all the information on this next set of data. Let's go through it again. X bar, that's my mean, which is 7.3. I'm going to move the calculator over. It's kind of my way here. Okay, mean 7.3. What's the median? We can scroll up and down if we haven't hit another key yet. Median 7. What's the standard deviation? That's this little sigma symbol. And we'll round again. Standard deviation. It's approximately 5.185. So the data is about, it sort of gives us a rating on the data spread. It's a little less spread out than the last one, which had, oh, it's a little more spread out than the last one. I'm incorrect. Slightly more spread out. Okay. Also tells us some other information, like there are 6 things, the min is 2, the max is 18, but we're interested mostly in where those quarter dividers are. So Q1 is 3 and Q3 is 7. So again, just like median divides the data in half, this number 3 tells us a quarter of the data is less than or equal to 3, and so on. One thing though, on the last example, we didn't calculate the mode, and we've been doing mode for a while. How do we get the mode? Well, that's the one bad thing about the calculator, is it doesn't calculate the mode too easily. We're going to need a little bit of our own work here, but the calculator can help. So we'll quit out of here. I'll show you how to do mode. So that's sort of quit. We're no longer scrolling up and down, you can see. But we want to sort the data, and that's good. It's easy for us humans to sort 6 numbers, but what if it was 600? Well, the calculator can do it really quick. Let's hit stat. And see where it says sort A? That's what we're going to pick. So down arrow or hit 2 and pick sort A. And so we're going to sort this list. But which list? You have to tell the calculator again. Sort list L1, so second one. Close the brackets. Hit enter, and now you're done. Now go back to your list. That's stat. And then enter for edit. And now you see a list has become sorted. And it's extremely obvious. You'd have to go through if there's a lot of numbers. But it's extremely obvious here the mode is 7. Let's do one more example. See if you can do it with me as I go. Oh, and one thing too. I'm going to start again on a new example. I could clear the memory, or like before, I could go stat and pick clear list. But another option I have too is I can just go right back to my table, so that's stat and then edit, so enter, and just retype the numbers on top. 4, enter. 7, enter. I didn't even have to clear anything. The only reason I like to clear things is if your first list is longer than the new one you're making, you might forget to delete those old numbers. But in this case, the lists were the same length, so I just type over the numbers. Look, they're all replaced. Let's second mode to quit out of here. And let's do stat, right arrow to calc, and pick one var stats. And then we want to do it on L1 again, so second 1 for L1, enter. And again, almost instantaneously, we know our mean. Again, that's the thing with the X bar. The mean is 7.5. Scroll down and get the median first, just because, why not? I want it right now. There it is, median 6.5. Worth identifying the standard deviation, that's this one. Standard deviation, very low spread with these numbers compared to the others of 3.354. And then we can identify too the Q1, the first quartile is 4, the third quartile is 12. But the last thing is getting that mode. How do we get the mode? We've got to go through and calculate the mode by sorting the data. So let's get out of there. We're not in that list anymore. I just quit out. And then go stat, pick sort A, just go down to it or hit 2. And then second 1 to get an L1 again, close the bracket, hit enter. Our data is all sorted. Go back in to the list, so stat, and then hit enter. There's our list, and it's very obvious the 4s repeat and the 12s repeat, so the mode is 12 and 4. So that's how you do statistics, or one variable statistics, using the TI83 graphing calculator.